4000.
Hot day and it's a long way back to my home. Turn the radio on, I'm hearing my friend Lizzie pretend that their voice counts, but nothing amounts to anything until I hear it from you.
Frank, Hayes, Lauren, and Gibby. The Frangie Show starts now on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Glad you're along for the ride with Hayes Carlyon, Lauren Brooks, and Andrew Gibson. I'm Frank Frangie. We're back in studio today. We do want to thank the folks at the Boys and Girls Club for having us out yesterday at their 4th annual Beaches Golf Tournament. That was a lot of fun. Back in studio today. I put on a sleeping exhibition last night, Brooks.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, I slept. I might have invented maybe a first ballot Hall of Fame stuff. I went to bed at 9:30, which is really early for me. I didn't see one snap of the Cowboys-Giants, and I so wanted the Giants to win.
Yeah. They kind of flirted with it for a while.
That's what when I went back and read, I saw that. Went to bed at 9:30. I got up at about 2:30 to go to the bathroom very quickly. Went back to bed till 9. So I essentially went 9:30 to 9. How many of those you got in your arsenal?
That's pretty awesome.
That's a pretty good sleep
Not
night.
many since college.
Yeah, 9:30 to 9 was going hard, Brooks. Wasn't holding back.
That's
Sometimes
very
people
impressive.
hold back. I wasn't
I think you
holding back.
needed it. I think that, I was going to say time travel. Not time travel.
Well, the
but
time
that-
travel affected me. It
That
did.
travel to London and back,
Yeah,
it takes a lot out of it. You know, they always say, like, sleep like a baby.
Right.
But babies are some of the worst sleepers.
No.
I don't know why they say that.
My
now
buddy
that I think
says
about
sleep
it.
like a dead person. I slept like a dead person. I
Yeah.
was really out of it. So I was, but I was really tired. So anyway, a lot of things to talk about today on the program. We will get to today on the show. We're going to talk a little bit more about FSU. Word is that Bob Stoops, I don't know if you heard this or not, Bob Stoops was in Tallahassee yesterday finalizing a deal. Did you know that?
You know, I'd heard that
Yeah.
there was a lot of excitement.
Yeah, he was there. They had to dot I's and cross T's.
I
But
mean, what a home run hire that would be.
they were moments away. He was there finalizing the deal. You know who messed it up? Bob Stoops. Because Bob Stoops had the audacity to come out today and say, I really wasn't in Tallahassee, and I'm really not all that interested in the job. And I was at the Hard Rock in South Florida drinking tequila. So that would be different. So, hey, look, we all get them wrong sometimes. I'm still the guy that told you Jeff Driscoll had a scapula and was out for the year, and he played the next week. So we all have those moments. But I never felt like Bob Stoops was going to be the FSU coach. And that's no knock on FSU. I don't think he wants to be the Florida coach either. I don't think he wants to be the LSU coach.
I mean, clearly
Yeah.
he doesn't. He probably could have been the Florida
He
coach.
could have had any of those jobs. And so I don't think Bob Stoops wants to do it. So I was really surprised. I was following the reports before I went to bed last night, though. I was following the reports. They seemed pretty real, didn't they?
They did. I mean, it seemed like there was a lot of momentum that he might be introduced, you know, if not today, maybe tomorrow. And you're sitting there thinking, wow, what an absolute coup that would be to have Bob Stoops be able to get hired this week, attend practice, you know, observe, you know, who he likes, who he doesn't like, and really get a strong sense of what he's inheriting and start the recruiting process of trying to keep that class together. And so it would have been a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth to hire Bob Stoops. I went back and just to refresh myself on his record, there were a couple 8-5s, but for the most part, that's an 11-2 coach pretty much every single year.
Right.
I mean, he is about as consistent as it gets. And, again, with the ACC being the way it is, I mean, you'd have to think that at worst, if you hire Bob Stoops, you're looking at a bunch of 10-2s coming up, and that's if you can't get past, you know, Florida. I think Clemson, that's asking a lot in year 1 or 2 for even Bob Stoops, but it would have been sensational. But I think it tells you something. I mean, this is a job Jimbo Fisher just left, and he didn't leave it to go coach the Dallas Cowboys. He left it for a program in Texas A&M that's been a perennial underachiever forever, and is a complete afterthought in its division behind Alabama and LSU and Auburn. And he left it. And so I do think in the coaching community, that's if you're somebody like Bob Stoops, who anytime there's a high-profile job, you're going to generate a lot of interest. It does. I wonder if it does give you some pause of, you know, if this job is so great, why did Jimbo Fisher leave it to go to Texas A&M? And this isn't 6 years ago. This was 2 years ago.
What I didn't realize, by the way, is that people in Minnesota listened to the 1010XL radio station and especially the Frangie show.
Duh. Of course they do.
Obviously. I mean, I knew we reached as far as
Right.
Kansas. I just didn't know we went
Yeah,
all the way
right.
to Minnesota.
All the way to Canada. It's the Canadian border is where they cut us off.
And that makes sense.
Do
But
you
yeah.
get a cut of that 7-year
Oh,
extension?
yeah. Oh, I get millions.
I mean, this has to be perfect timing for PJ Fleck. We talked about how difficult their schedule is to
Right.
finish out. Yes, they're 8-0. I don't think they're going to finish the season undefeated. I don't even think they're going to beat Penn State on Saturday. So I think it hits the absolute perfect timing
Yeah.
for him. This job becomes available. He gets rumored to it. Boom, 7-year extension, and he's locked in.
I think PJ heard the show. And I think he
knew-
recorded it.
I knew his
recorded
family
it,
listened.
went to the boss and said, look, just see, it's not just me leveraging you. Listen to this guy. So, hey, a lot of things to talk about. Let's not bury the lead. The lead story around here, obviously. Nick Foles has been named the starting quarterback by Doug Marrone. You know, we talked yesterday at our show whether or not, even you and John Ogier and I, do we think he'd make the decision early? And Johnny thought, no, he's probably going to sit on it for a little bit. But this was, if you were doing it, do it now. Let's have all the conversation about it now, not 3 days or 4 days before the game. So in retrospect, by the way, it's the right decision, and that's no knock on Gardner Minshew, but it's the right decision. We'll kind of underscore or underline why we think that in a bit. But you were there today. Kind of give us kind of an overview of the and we've got the cuts. I've just played some of them, but give us kind of an overview of the presser.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a pretty obvious call,
Yeah.
and that's why I think the timeline that Doug originally threw out there before the Houston game of, I'll probably make a decision Sunday and tell them Sunday when they come back, announce it on Monday. I mean, I just don't think you need that. I think it's better for the team to go ahead and announce it, let everybody now go about their break and process it in whichever way they need to process it, whether they're happy or whether they're upset, and particularly Gardner and Nick, and then allow them to come back, on Sunday, get ready for practice on Monday, where they've had time to, get prepared for it. And I understand Gardner Minshew not being happy about it, but to me, and I'm a big Gardner Minshew fan, and I think he will eventually get a chance to start for this franchise. But how could you possibly pick him over Nick Foles at this point? I mean, I don't understand after what we saw Sunday, and now looking at his numbers in totality, which are still good for considering the situation. But you've got a guy that, I mean, you've got to go 5-2 at a minimum to have any chance at the tournament. I mean, to think that it would even be a decision between a guy that the first thing on top of his resume is gets hot this time of year, versus a guy that's he's a rookie who his play is starting to trend downward. I thought it was the right move to go ahead and make it today, and it never made sense to me after the Wembley game why you would need a week to announce the decision. So I credit Doug for saying, I don't need a week.
Yeah.
Nick Foles is my guy.
Yeah, and I'll say this, and we'll talk. We're gonna lead the show with it in just a second. I don't have a problem with somebody who thought I would have stayed with Minshew. I don't have a problem if you're a fan and you got caught up in it. I don't have any problem with someone thinking I would have stayed with Minshew. What I do have a problem with is someone who thought they should stay with Minshew being incredulous at the decision. That's right. I mean, if you said, hey, I probably would have picked Minshew for this reason, that okay. But to be but for people to say how could they go back to Foles? Well, that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, they picked Foles. I think they got it right. We'll talk about that coming up in a bit. That's how we'll start the show. Later on, more on the FSU job, where that thing's going to head. The Chargers to London, that's a story that was written in The Athletic. I don't know if you guys saw the story, but it was a fantastic story about the possibilities of London. We'll certainly get to that coming up in a bit. Florida UNF basketball tonight. That starts. We'll talk about the Gators and the Bulldogs football plight as well. Got a lot of stuff. Glad you're with us on a Tuesday on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Your home for play-by-play is 1010XL.
College basketball is here. Your Jacksonville Dolphins open in Cincinnati Tuesday night as we face number 19 Xavier. This is head coach Tony Jasic welcoming you to tune in to all the action starting at 7 p.m. on 1010XL.
Did you know that Scrubble's Car Wash now has 2 locations? The one you know and love in the St. John's Town Center, and one now in Fleming Island located at 1725 Eagle Harbor Parkway. Lauren Brooks here, and good news, Scrubbles has even more locations to come. Scrubbles Car Wash uses quality soaps and solutions that help keep your vehicle streak-free. You'll love the Scrubbles Tunnel Wash, and the Soapy Light Show experience is one the whole family will enjoy. Every 3-minute car wash package from Scrubbles comes with self-serve vacuuming, lint-free towels, window cleaner, and a free air freshener. Remember, trust the bow tie. You'll know quality once you arrive.
When you need same-day care but don't need the ER, CareSpot Urgent Care has 14 Jacksonville area locations. Open extended hours 7 days a week. $29 flu shots now available, as well as flu tests. CareSpot is proudly affiliated with Baptist Health.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to one commercial today, listen to this one.
Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are doing it again. This year, we will recognize 12 local heroes in our community and honor them with a brand new vehicle. 12 heroes will be getting 12 new vehicles. Nominate a law enforcement officer, firefighter, EMT, nurse, teacher, veteran, and new this year, your local WOW hero. Head to localwowheroes.com to nominate and vote today. Let's wow our heroes.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
This is Ryan Green. Join me immediately following every Gator football game on the 1010XL Facebook page for my instant reaction. Brought to you by Mattress Recliner Fit 123. As soon as the Florida game is over, head to 1010XL on Facebook.
You finally caved in. The job seems simple, but you love your house. You love your marriage. So you admit to yourself,
I'd like to avoid flooding my own home. I am not a plumber.
So your wife calls Mr. Rooter Plumbing.
At Mr. Rooter, you get upfront, flat rate pricing, not an estimated hourly rate. No matter how long the job takes, you'll know your cost right from the start. Drain your pipes, not your wallet, with flat rate pricing at Mr. Rooter Plumbing. There's a reason they call us Mr.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you are a 6th-generation jeweler. What kind of watch do you wear?
Frank, I think I've told this story 1,000 times. The watch I wear is a Rolex, and here's why. When my grandfather gave me a gift for graduating from college, he said, I want you to have something that you'll always remember me for. And he gave me a Rolex watch, and some 35 years later, it still runs and looks as good as it did the day I got it. A day I'll always remember. This might be the right time for you to create the same kind of memory, and nothing does it better than a Rolex from Underwood's. Whether it's a lady or a man's, the Rolex Oyster has the classic good looks and incredible durability and accuracy that make it the watch people want to own. And at Underwood's, all of our Rolexes come with a 5-year guarantee.
Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra. Underwood's, serving excellence since 1928. Underwood Jewelers.
I used to love posting cute little pictures of my kids, and I always made sure to put my settings on private, so no creepers could see them. But I found out the hard way that wasn't enough. I accidentally gave pedophiles access to my child. Luckily, Action News Jax uncovered 2 ways to beat predators at their own game, so I can share my memories online while protecting the ones I love. Tonight at 11 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Action News Jax.
Fox tonight. Don't miss an unforgettable night of drama. On The Resident, a medical breakthrough causes deadly complications.
This is a radical surgery that might paralyze or kill him.
I have a pretty firm grasp on what I can and cannot handle.
Then it's the question everyone's asking. Who kills Lucius?
They say before you die, your whole life flashes in front of you.
Empire, the final season continues right after The Resident.
Tonight at 8 on Fox 30.
Sick of spending most of your lunch break waiting in a slow drive-thru line? Swing by Moe's Southwest Grill drive-thru for fast, fresh food made to order, featuring smart drive-thru technology and personalized fast service. Order in 10 seconds or less. Save your favorite customized menu items and recall past orders for faster service. Stop spending so much time in drive-thrus waiting for your meal. Enjoy your meal. Visit a Moe's drive-thru near you in Bartram Park, St. John's Town Center, and Brunswick, Georgia today.
Gentlemen, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley I with Synergenics Elite
Elite Health, and we offer GainsWave. It's a simple 20-minute in-office procedure. GainsWave is non-invasive, and it restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. Call 904-500-5500. Consultations are free. Mention this radio station for $150 off your first treatment. Call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 to learn about the GainsWave ED treatment today.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
I made a decision on the quarterbacks, and then Nick will be our starting quarterback going forward. And it was obviously my decision. I worked hard on it, came to it, brought both players in this morning, spoke to both of them. After I spoke to the players, then obviously I wanted to make sure I spoke to the team, and then I wanted to get it to our media before they heard it anywhere else of where I can't control.
And I appreciated Doug doing that. I think the media does as well. You didn't have a chef report breaking this one, which is good. So good for Doug taking care of our media here in town. Hayes was among the folks that were at that presser. Look, here's why you go back to Nick Foles. This wasn't a competition in the summer. This wasn't a way that made the best man win in the summer. This was, you went out and got a free agent to be your quarterback. And then you drafted someone who you thought so much of that you gave him every chance to win the backup job. But this was clear starter and backup. This wasn't two even choices. This was a starter and a backup as it should have been. And then as you move forward from that, the starter got hurt. The backup came in and went 4-4, which is damn good. Gardner Minshew did a damn good job, and he deserves all the accolades he got. He is going to be a quarterback in the National Football League. I don't think anybody debates that. But when your starter gets hurt and your backup goes 4-4 and the starter gets healthy, you put the starter back in. Wouldn't you say that's the case every NFL team everywhere? Not when there's been a competition, but when you have a clear starter and a clear backup, and the starter gets hurt and the backup goes 500, when the starter's healthy, you put him back in. I don't even anywhere. Would that be different anywhere?
No, and to your point, I'm not sure Gardner Minshew was the clear backup the entire time. We certainly landed there, but at times I thought there was some competition from Alex Magoo.
Yeah, but even tepid competition, a little bit. But by the time we got to the season, there was a starter and a backup. But by the time they ran out of the tunnel for that Kansas City game, starter, backup. Well, when the starter gets hurt, backup comes in and did a damn good job. Damn good job. But starter's healthy. So I think at the end of the day, the mania made it a conversation. And don't kid yourself, I'm not naive. Had they beaten Houston and London 31-14 and he threw 4 touchdown passes, I don't know that you go back to the starter.
You wouldn't.
Yet, when I say that, Hayes, I agree with you. That's not fair to tell Gardner Minshew, then the reason he's not starting now is because he didn't play well in that game. So I'm not sure you do either. I'm with you. But that makes it, in this black and white connect the dots world, it makes it sound like, well, the reason you're not starting now is because you didn't beat Houston, didn't play great, had the 4 turnovers. That's not it. This is a starter who got hurt, and the backup came in and went 4-4, and now you go back to the starter. Again, it's pretty standard operating procedure. I mean, this could be the starting shortstop on a major league team. It could be the starting power forward on an NBA team. It could be the starting quarterback on an NFL team. That's how it goes. I heard so many people say, well, Wally Pipp was a starter. It was Lou Gehrig. It was the greatest first baseman in the 150-year history of the sport. That's who Wally Pipp lost his job to. So I thought Gardner did a great job, and I'm very confident that if something happens to Nick again, which it could, by the way, Nick's been injury prone, you got a guy ready to play. And I do think Nick will be rusty. We'll talk about that. We got plenty of time between now and the Indianapolis game. But I think that's why you make the decision. And you talked about it a little before the break, but that's why.
Yeah, and I think that's the big takeaway, is that the Jaguars have 2 really quality quarterbacks, and that's what Doug stressed in the press conference. And I think he's right. A lot of times you have to choose between the lesser of 2 evils in the NFL. This is not that. This is 2 guys. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Foles went 5-2 in these 7 games. And could Gardner Minshew have done that? I think the odds are smaller. But I think he can get to a point in his career where absolutely Gardner Minshew can lead a team to a 12-4 season. I just think Gardner Minshew, so much has been put on him, and I just think it's getting to the point where it seems like it's a little much, and that's not to blame him, because it's a lot for a rookie to have to handle. Now I think Nick comes in. Nick is fresh. And again, a big part of this is John DeFilippo. I mean, John DeFilippo now has his prize pupil. That's Nick Foles. Now that prize pupil may become Gardner Minshew as he gets, the rest of this season to observe Nick and process his own experience. He gets an off season, assuming Flip returns and the offense is the same. Then you've got, I think, a player that can have as strong a bond with Flip as Nick has. But for right now, this is all about getting in the tournament. And Nick Foles gives you the best chance to get hot, in my opinion. And I asked Doug about, how do you make sure that Nick isn't rusty November 17th? And he's like, we have a 21-day window. We're doing what we can to simulate him getting hit, not with people hitting him, but, with pads and things like that in the pocket. So, they feel like in that 21-day window, they can do enough to where when Nick goes out there, will he be 100% in terms of, football shape and processing? Probably not. But if he's 95%, that's still probably going to be better than where Gardner Minshew would have been at this point.
You made a really good point. You said it again. You made a really good point yesterday, and I wish I'd said it. Right now, you follow the evidence. The evidence tells us that right now, today, with the Gardner Minshew we knew today and the roster this team has today, they're a 500 team. That's the evidence. They're 4-4. And they're a team that beats the bad teams and lost to some of the good teams. That's what they've been with Gardner Minshew. They may be the same thing with Nick Foles, but we don't know that. What we know is what they've been with Gardner is a good, solid 500 team. Now, next year's Gardner and 27-year-old Gardner Minshew, that might not be the case. But with today's Gardner Minshew, they've been a 500 team, and that's okay. That's, by the way, I think if you went around the league, if you go around the league, the Saints are obviously an exception. But for the most part, most teams that are probably a game or two worse than they would be with their backup quarterback at best. But the best case is a team that plays 8 games without its quarterback. If it was going to be a 6-2 team with him, would be a 4-4 or 5-3 team without him around the league. Now, again, the Saints are an exception to that. There will be some exceptions. But most of the time, that's what the league gives you.
Sure. I mean, one thing we do know for sure, there's a massive difference in the arm strength, the natural arm strength between Nick Foles and Gardner Minshew. And while it didn't seem to hamper him a lot, there are times that I think, A, he didn't see stuff, and then if he had seen it, he wouldn't have been able to get the ball there. So that's a big upgrade. And then I was watching Monday Night Football last night, and before the game started, Boomer came on and showed, he always likes to show plays that have been fantastic over the past 100 years of NFL football. And he shows the Philly special. Well, the one thing we've talked about that play in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, but one thing that I guess I had forgotten is that Nick Foles was the one who ran over to his head coach and said, Doug Peterson, and said, Philly, Philly. Like, he knew that was the play they should run in that moment. That's one thing. Gardner Minshew obviously isn't there yet as a quarterback.
Well, the other thing is, you know why he liked a Philly special? Nobody can cover Nick Foles. Okay.
He was a tight end for 1 year in college,
when Nick Foles gets loose in the secondary, you can't cover him. Jalen Ramsey couldn't cover him. So, no, I'm kidding. You're exactly right. The intellectual part of the game. And that comes from – and by the way, to that end, a guy that will so be that guy when he's played a lot is Minshew. Minshew, his intelligence is so off the chart. And his football IQ for his age is so off the chart that he'll be that guy you just described.
Right.
He'll be the guy that goes and says, Coach, here's what's going to work. But right now, he hasn't played that much.
He might end up becoming a great head coach after football.
He sure has that look, doesn't he? He has
now,
that
if
look.
he has a 15-year brilliant career, then he probably most guys that are that successful don't go on to coach. But Gardner Minshew clearly has that acumen. So that's a great comparison because that is the kind of player that he will be. And that's the good thing about Foles coming back. We've talked about the red zone, woes. I tell you what, Lucas Oil Stadium, if it's 1st and goal from the 3, I'm ready for the Jaguar special. I'm ready to see Leonard Fournette throw one
right.
told Nick Foles all alone in the end zone.
And here's why.
Nobody can cover
because
Nick
nobody
Foles.
can cover Nick Foles when he gets loose in the end zone. So, he is 6'6". He's a big – I think you throw him a
Yes,
fade.
and I mean,
He's a basketball player, right?
he can jump, too.
You go back and you watch that play. He sold it, too. He acts like he's not in the play whatsoever. And so the whole thing is designed, obviously, perfectly. They'd obviously run it a ton in practice, and he knew it was the right time to do it. It just – all of that, when you're in this situation and you've kind of told yourself for a few weeks, oh, well, Minshew's going to be the starter. Look at some of the things he can do. You go back and you remember some of the great things about Foles that you might have kind of put at bay for a little bit, and you get excited all over again.
Lauren, I spent the whole offseason excited to watch Nick Foles. I couldn't wait to see him. I was the guy disappointed he wasn't playing in the preseason. Probably thought it was the right decision, but I was disappointed. I couldn't wait to watch him play. I couldn't wait to watch Nick Foles play. And then, boom, gone 11 plays in was just devastating, And so, and none of that changed for me over all this or during all this. So we'll see what happens.
And by the way, it's so much better to be at this stage of the game where Nick Foles is promoted or activated off IR versus Cam Newton in Carolina being put on IR today. Hasn't played, obviously, but being put on IR.
And there is a bevy of beatable, say that a couple times in a row, a bevy of beatable teams upcoming. That's the reality. I'm not saying they're not good teams, but if there's a group of teams, the Colts are probably the best of the group of the next 4 or 5 you play.
And they're wounded.
So, I think there's a chance here. So we'll see. I'm excited about the moving forward. They're 4-5. That's not perfect. But to be very clear, they're not 2-7. They're 4-5. And they're in that clump of 7 teams. There's 11 teams of the 16 in the AFC, 11 have a realistic chance to get to the playoffs. Now you got some like the Jaguars and the Raiders and the Chargers have to go on a real good run. You have to have that 5-2 or, in my opinion, 6-1. But your best chance to do it is what you have now. So we'll see what winds up happening. I'm glad Doug did it today. I think he did the right thing. More Jaguars talk coming up as always. Let's take a break. I'm going to get back to the FSU job in just a bit. So Bob Stoops was never really in it. Was never a candidate. You wonder why stories develop like that. I'll give you my thoughts on why I think they develop and why that story came out. Again, J.P. Peterson went with it. J.P. Peterson does radio in Tampa. He's a former Tallahassee radio guy. I'll say this about J.P. Do you know J.P. at all? Mm-mm. Do you know Lauren? Do you? I know J.P. very well. We've worked together. You've met him, Gibby? You met J.P.?
Yeah, he worked in Atlanta for a little period of time. I met him there.
He sure did. He worked in Atlanta for a while. But he's mostly a Tallahassee and Tampa guy. J.P.'s solid as it comes. This is not some clown show guy trying to make his mark by saying something outlandish and hope it comes home. JP's a good journalist. He's a good media guy. He thought he had it. It's very clear he thought he had. You could tell. I haven't talked to JP over this, but I could tell just from watching his tweets and hearing what he said. He thought he had this one. Why does that go wrong? What might they do? PJ Fleck looks like he's off the market, right? He just got an extension.
7-year extension.
And the extension I would think would ramp up his buyout. So he may be out of the picture for Florida State. What now? Let's talk about that coaching opening after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Wins on Sunday require great performances.
It is 4th and 1.
Performance Painting presents the high performance play of the game.
Oh, how high can you leap?
On 1010XL. Performance Painting. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Hey, you want great barbecue? You know what I'm going to tell you. Go to Bono's. It's just the best barbecue in Jacksonville, and frankly, it's the best barbecue in Jacksonville and has been forever. 15 locations in town, so no matter where you are, you're near a Bono's. That's kind of cool. You're going to love how consistent it is. You're going to love the fact that it's free parking, plenty of parking, a family restaurant, clean. Everything about it is good. If you want really good barbecue, you want the best barbecue in town, do what I do. Head to Bono's today.
2020 is right around the corner, but at Claude Nolan Cadillac, the 2020 models have arrived, and you're invited to our Roaring Into the 20s celebration. Join us this Saturday, November 9th from 10 until 3 and see the entire lineup of 2020 models, plus get an exclusive sneak peek at the brand new CT5. food raffles and test drives. We hope you'll join us. Claude Nolan on Southside Boulevard, or visit ClaudeNolanCadillac.com for details. Beginning lasting relationships since 1905.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
American Window Products, rated by Best of the Best Television as the #1 window company in America. Our installers are all American Window Products employees, no outside contractors, no high-pressure sales, just skilled, honest folks that can save you a bundle on your electric bill. Replace your old windows with Eastern Architectural Systems today and pay nothing for installation on 6 or more windows. Visit AmericanWindows.com and check out our video by Best of the Best Television.
American Windows.
For the best price and service when it comes to your waste hauling and collecting, look no further than the A-Team at All American Roll-Off and Recycling. Jet Prosser here, and let me tell you, you're not going to find an easier way to handle your project cleanups than calling in the A-Team at All American. A J.B. Coxwell company, All American Roll-Off and Recycling has brand new trucks and cans in all sizes to fit your project needs. No hidden fees. Count on the best price in town. When it comes to cleaning up when the job is done, go with the A-Team at All American Roll-Off and Recycling. Visit us at all-americanrolloff.com.
You've been injured in a car accident, and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car. Then it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah and Farah at 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Football fans, what's your ride looking like these days? Rolling on those stock rims, ball tires? My friends over at R&R Tire Express hooked me up, and can you too? R&R carries a huge selection of passenger tires and custom wheels with affordable payment options. Just $20 installs new tires and $50 installs custom wheels and tire packages with R&R's 6-month same as cash. Installation, rotation, balance, flat repair, and a roadside assistant is free. Ask for the Leon Special, and R&R will give you $100 off your purchase. For locations, go to rnrtires.com.
Hey, this is Joe C. How'd you like to win lunch on us and Beaver Chevrolet? Just log on to 1010XL.com and click on the Wow You Lunch link and sign the office up. Me and Bucky from Beaver Chevrolet will show up at your office with free lunch from Zaxby's.
This is Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is proud to provide sports medicine services to not only the Jaguars, but also the Jacksonville Sharks, Armada Soccer Club, Jacksonville University, the Axemen, Florida State College of Jacks, and the majority of local high schools and community events. With the most experienced, caring, and fellowship-trained specialists in orthopedics, it's no wonder why coaches, parents, and athletes choose JOI. Give us a call at JOI 2000 or online at joi.net.
When you're buying or selling commercial real estate, you want the best rate of return. Closing costs can affect your purchase or sale. That's why Pantheon Realty Group's special offer gives back to you. Buying or selling, they'll partner with you by allocating up to 20% of their brokerage fees to help pay for your closing costs. This is a unique and special offer, so visit PantheonRealtyGroup.com for the details or call today at 410-0313. Pantheon Realty Group.
This is the Mangler. By now you've heard my commercial for Advanced Disposal on our need for CDL drivers. As a result, we've added some good drivers to our team. However, we still have some positions to fill. We're looking for CDL drivers in Northeast Florida, especially in Clay County, St. Johns County, and yes, Duval! Come be a starter on our team. Earn a solid wage and get full benefits. Head to our website, advanceddisposal.com/careers, and get signed up today. That's advanceddisposal.com/careers.
Equal opportunity employer.
Business owners, it's time to ask yourself a very important question. Are the benefits you're offering your employees the best you can possibly offer, or could it be better? This is Joe C. for the Bailey Group, and Travis Cummings. He can help answer that question. Just call him at 461-1800. He'll take it from there. I back the Bailey Group because they'll back you with a benefits package that matches the quality of employee you have working for your company. Call Travis Cummings today at 461-1800 at the Bailey Group or log on to mbaileygroup.com.
Guys, in the U.S., 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. This Movember, the urologists with McKeever Clinic encourage you to have an open conversation with your friends, your family, or doctor about men's health. McKeeverClinic.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
More of The Frangie Show now on a Nimnick Tuesday. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Gentlemen, we don't have football this Sunday at TIAA Bank Field, but we do have football as the United States women's national team is on their victory tour. They go up against Costa Rica. That kicks off at 8 p.m., and we've got a pair of tickets for you to win right now. Caller number 4 at 641-1010. On this Nimnick Tuesday, you are headed to see the U.S. women's national team play Sunday night. A little later on Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes, we are going to interview Morgan Bryan, one of the members of the U.S. women's national team, and talk to her about her experience in the World Cup and also some other fun stuff on the horizon. And, of course, the game here Sunday night.
How about that?
It's going to be
Bryan.
exciting.
Is Alex Morgan playing? Is she coming?
She is pregnant and out for the season with a patella injury, so no would be the answer to that question as far as playing. I assume she won't be here either because of probably the pregnancy. But either way, there will be a ton of other women.
Does Rapinoe still play on the team?
Rapinoe should be playing. I haven't.
Okay.
I don't
so
pay
like
attention
nobody
to
like,
friendlies,
but nobody
whatsoever.
like retired after winning.
When is the Morgan Bryan interview?
That is tonight at 6:30 Eastern.
On Helmets and Heels.
On Helmets and Heels.
Okay, very
That's
cool.
awesome.
That is really awesome. Are you going to the game?
I am probably not because it's not until 8 o'clock at night, A. And B, we're still thinking about going camping this weekend. I just have to figure out how I can watch LSU, Alabama, and obviously Florida Vanderbilt.
The camping
We're thinking about going camping.
Where are you going camping?
That's what has not been determined.
You going to rough
yet.
it?
So
are you roughing it?
No. Well, we'll have a tent. Is that called roughing it?
You going with the bear?
That is absolutely right.
Will there be,
I know it is to you.
Well, and me. Will there be any bears?
I don't think so, but it's probably going to end up being Jenny Springs because
There won't be any bears.
literally all state parks in Florida are booked because it's Veterans Day weekend. All state parks are booked this weekend because everybody has the 3-day weekend.
You going to shoot a wolf maybe?
I don't own a gun, so shooting a wolf would be very difficult, but I think either way, we'll be just fine.
Okay, I'm just checking.
But yeah.
I mean, there's bears and wolves when you go camping, Hayes. I don't know if you know
leave
that or not.
food out.
No, do whatever you do. A bear spray, you taking bear spray.
I don't even think that exists, does it?
It does exist.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm not worried, but the more we talk about it, maybe I'm not going camping because now I think I'm going to be devoured by some starving animal.
Let me just say this. I'm not much of an outdoors person.
But
might
you
not
know
know
about
that.
bear spray.
But I love that you didn't know what bear spray was. That's actually kind of made my day.
Yeah, no, I've only seen, I think, one bear in my life, and it was up in North Carolina, and it was hunting season. So there were all these guys with their guns, and I was
Good
more
thing they
nervous
had
they were going
guns.
to shoot me.
You know why it was a good thing they had guns? Because you didn't have bear spray.
Because I didn't. You're absolutely right. I guess I need to go shopping. All right, speaking of shopping, Florida State is shopping for a new head football coach. Willie Taggart was fired Sunday following the 27-10 loss to rival Miami. By the way, if Florida State barely loses, let's say Miami kicks a last-second field goal, which that would be difficult because Miami doesn't have a great kicker. But let's say Miami wins and it's a very, very close game down to the wire. Does Willie Taggart still get fired?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because it did seem like, how do you feel every week, didn't it? I hear you. I don't know. I
tend to think he doesn't if it's that close.
But because they pulled the trigger the way they did, and I can tell you, I think if they'd have lost to Louisville, he was fired Monday. I said it on the air. If they lost to Syracuse, he was fired Monday. I said that on the air. So and I believe that is the case. So Lauren, I think you're looking for reasons to move on, not for reasons to stay. So yeah, I think if they lose, they probably move along anyway. And so yes, I think he would have been fired anyway. But it's a great question. I don't know. Here's what I think happened with the JP story. The Florida State boosters are very involved in this. Very, very involved. People that don't work for the university but give money. You say, well, who are you talking about? People that give a lot of money to the school but don't work for the school. Well, that guy, I'm being honest here, that guy loves to tell his buddies what he knows. That's one of the. Why do you do it? Why does a booster give hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars to the school. Part of it you love the school, but part of it you want to be on the inner circle. You want to be able to say, hey, let me tell you what's going on. There's a lot of that out there, and there's a lot of people, and I know a lot. I know some of those, and I know a lot of people that know them. And I think what happened, I think FSU pursued Bob Stoops with a vigor. I think he was the guy they wanted to hire, not unlike Florida pursuing Chip Kelly with a vigor. Okay, I think, or Scott Frost even. I think that's who they wanted. Not unlike Jeremy Foley many years ago pursuing Mike Shanahan with a vigor. I think Bob Stoops is the guy they wanted, and I think that got around in Seminole Nation. I think somebody told somebody that Stoops might listen, whether it was an agent, and I think by the time that got told to 2 or 3 or 4 boosters, it went from we're pursuing Bob Stoops to Bob Stoops might listen to I think they're going to get him. Now, because again, I'll say JP said the deal was close to getting done. I don't believe him. I think he's wrong. But he's kind of covered himself a little bit. Again, JP Peterson is a really professional guy. This isn't some clown out there doing this. So I think somebody misspoke and said it's close when it was never close. The funny part of it is, and again, we all get them wrong, was the Bob Stoops was seen in Tallahassee. Confirmed by another media person who said, I now can confirm that Bob Stoops is seen in Tallahassee. To where even the Tallahassee Democrats said Bob Stoops is their main target. I don't think anybody knew anything. I don't think he was ever in Tallahassee. This was Bill Cowher buying a home in Ponte Vedra. Wasn't that the best one ever?
Yes.
Bill Cowher was buying a home in Ponte Vedra. Therefore, he was going to be the Jaguars coach in one of those years. I don't think it was ever happening, but I think that's why the story took off. And I do believe they wanted him. I do believe he was position A. Bob Stoops is not the coach. We know that now. He's made it clear he's not a candidate. And then he went out of his way to start telling people like Kirk Herbstreit and others and Bruce Feldman to get the word out that he now wants the word out that he's not a candidate. You know why? He doesn't want to preclude his brother,
right,
who is a legitimate candidate and would ride his moped. I said P.J. Fleck would ride his moped from Minneapolis. I still believe that until they gave him all the money in the state.
It was really cold to ride a moped in Minneapolis.
Well, but that's how bad you want the job. I didn't say he'd wear a tank top, but he'd wear but I think Mark Stoops really wants the job. He has been in there. He enjoyed his time there. Mark and I have talked about his time in Tallahassee, and he really liked it. I can tell you for a fact he really liked it. So I think it's one of the reasons Bob pulled out. But now, here's the question. What now if no Bob Stoops or no, as we said yesterday on the program, it doesn't look like they're getting one of the home run guys? Secondly, if they're not getting one of the home run guys, I really did think P.J. Fleck was the best of the next group. He's off the board now, it looks like. So then does it go back to Mike Leach, Matt Campbell, Mark Stoops? Can you get someone from that group? You made the point yesterday, Hayes. I didn't completely agree with you, but with the Stoops stuff becoming comical and with Fleck off the board, you think it's going to be an option C or D thing. You think this is going to be a tough hire. And look, the University of Florida, which has as much street cred as anybody hiring coaches, had to hire the Colorado State coach, who had rarely been a head coach, in Jim McElwain. So it's not easy, is it? And so where does this thing go now?
I think it's going to end up between Mark Stoops and Josh Heupel, and I think they will hire Josh Heupel, is what I think will happen. I think it has to be an offensive guy. I think the fact that Heupel is 19-3, he's a young guy. He's done a fantastic job at UCF. Particularly, look, if Mackenzie Milton had never gotten hurt, Josh Heupel might be 22-0 at UCF. I mean, they were almost untouchable until he got hurt, and even still almost beat LSU in the Fiesta Bowl. To me, that's where I think it ends up. I would be interested in Leach. The only thing with Leach is I do think there's not only the quirkiness, but I also think that when you look at his record, I mean, the coach that they hire has got to be able to deliver you the 11-1. And Mike Leach has never shown any ability to do that. Now, granted, he's never had athletes playing on defense like he would have at Florida State.
Yeah, he did it last year, but you mean do it year in and year out.
Well, he's lost 2 games in every year he's ever been a head coach.
Okay, so last year,
that's my point. So, he's never finished a year with 1 or fewer losses.
Got it, okay.
And he's been a coach for 18 years. So, And there are some 3-9s in there. So there are some years where he just doesn't have it. So you would be entertaining. You would certainly score a lot of points. But will you play consistently good enough defense under Leach to really do what your athletic director says is the goal, which is to win national championships? Like, I think Josh Heupel at Florida State might be able to do that. He might not. It's a big jump, but at least what we're seeing out of him so far is he was a gifted coordinator at Missouri. He's off to a terrific start at UCF, and he's been able to now get a familiarity recruiting the state of Florida, which always helps. And I think if you put him in that situation, I think he is smart enough to at least try and scheme as best he can around an offensive line that probably needs at least a year, some believe more, maybe 2 years, of really solid recruiting and portal additions to really get the offensive line where it needs to be. But to me, Josh Heupel makes a lot of sense. I think he would have made a lot of sense, for even maybe for Florida when they hired Mullen. But I think now that you're seeing it play out a little bit more, I think he's got enough credibility, he's got enough results, and he's got enough head coaching games under his belt that you can evaluate him and feel good about him. Mark Stoops, I think, is a good program builder. I think he'd be a good solid hire. I just would be surprised if they go with a defensive coach.
Yeah, I think so too. And with FSU, if I'm a fan of that school, I don't want a coordinator, but I also don't want a coach that's coming from the Group of Five, not the Power Five. I want someone who has proven they can do it in that group or in that Power Five conference, because otherwise it's just not the same thing.
I want a Power Five guy too. Heupel might be the exception for me. I mean, this is a guy.
But Mike Norvell would be your exception too, right?
Well, yeah, he would. You're right.
Yeah.
I'd take either one of those
So
guys.
yeah, you're open to it more. I think I would not like that.
So yeah, I didn't. Yeah, you're right.
So you would take Mark Stoops over Josh Heupel,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably take Norvell over both of them. I'd probably take Mike Norvell because I think Norvell can really light up scoreboards. I think he's legit in terms of offense. He's a young Spurrier type. I would probably now that Fleck is off the board, I think Norvell would probably be my guy. Heupel too. What I can't get beyond with Heupel, and I don't pretend to know this, how much of his success was is it Larry Coker? Did he just take over what Scott Frost was already doing? Now, he had to change quarterbacks and kept doing it. But how much did he take over an absolute machine that was steamrolling everybody else in Group of Five and just kept it steamrolling? Now, it's not easy, but that would run through my mind a little bit. So Norvell would probably be my guy now. So we'll see. We'll continue to track it. The one last thing I'll say about it is it's interesting to me that David Coburn said we want to have a coach by the end of the season, if not sooner. I still say what I said yesterday. If it's not a guy like Stoops who's not coaching, how can you do that? Would Josh Heupel take the job? Would Mike Norvell take? Let's put it this way. Those guys are more likely to say yes than a guy than Tony Elliott, because Tony Elliott is trying to win a national championship, right? I think. So we'll see. I will say this. He sounds pretty convicted that it's going to happen quickly. So we'll see what happens. All right, other college football news we'll talk about. I want to get to some college hoops in just a minute. Have you seen this story out of Florida? Chris Bleich, who was the starting right guard, is in the portal. Did you see this?
Really?
Yeah, because he's been losing snaps to Richard Garage.
Here's what Bleich is a good player. He's 6'5", about 330. He's a redshirt freshman, big, tough, physical guy that they really like. He won the job as a freshman in the fall. Struggled a little bit this year, so they've been splitting snaps. What happens is he was the right guard and Brett Heggie was the left guard. Heggie's a pretty good player. So to mix it up a little bit, they move in the middle of the game. They move Heggie to right guard and put Garage in at left guard. And so Bleich plays half the game. He started every game. This is a guy that has started every game, and there may be more to the story than we know. This guy started every game. He now has gotten to where he's a platoon player, and he's leaving. He's playing half the game. Have you ever seen a guy that plays half the game, starts every game and plays half the game, go to the portal in season? I've never heard of this. Now, the De'Aaron King thing was odd earlier in the year, but this is a guy has started every game, plays more than half of every game, is going to the portal because he's now sharing time. And again, in fairness, there may be more to the story than we know. Thomas Goldkamp is reporting that he's in the portal. There may be more to the story. There may be something off field. We don't know. But it's one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. Start every game, platoon now. This isn't a guy that's third team and thinks he's never going to play. How weird is that?
It is weird. But I think it's just sort of where we are. The portal has got to be pretty tempting. I mean, if you're a college student and in your opinion, you're doing everything you can and you feel like your play is there and you're starting to lose snaps, it's got to be pretty tempting to know I can't imagine it's very difficult to enter the portal and at least put your name in and see what comes up. I think the danger that you run into is, does Dan Mullen now say, okay, that's good that you're in the portal. Make sure you stay in the portal.
I think he's gone.
Yeah.
I think once you're in the portal, you're off the team. So I think that's already happened.
He only played 3 series against Georgia before he was replaced and did not re-enter the game, according to the story.
Okay, so he didn't. So against Georgia,
he did not play.
He feels like he got benched.
Right.
Okay, so you get benched one game and you're out. That's weird. This isn't Joey Gatewood, who clearly wasn't going to get to play. Joey Gatewood didn't play at all, hardly, and so and Joey Gatewood's playing a position that they're not going to platoon. It's just an really odd scenario to me. And they like this guy Bleish. They almost played him last year, and then they said, one more year of Nick Savage, one more year in the weight room. Let's make him a redshirt freshman. Then he's a 4-year starter, or even a 3-year starter, and then he's out. Everybody thought that. So he plays 3 series, comes out of the game, doesn't go back in the game. And remember, he didn't get a chance to block on 4th and inches because they threw the ball. It's a really weird dynamic.
By the way, real quick, going back to FSU, basically what you said about the hiring, or Coburn saying he wanted to hire the guy quickly, made me start to think, why would you hire a search firm if you think you can get the hire made super quickly?
Well, I mean, good question, unless that's how you do it. The more people you involve, the more people you can contact. Sometimes you hire a search firm to expedite the process. In other words, if it's him by himself, he can make all the calls. Search firm, I promise you, it's not Korn Ferry. They're not using Korn Ferry. They're using somebody else, right? But whoever they use, there's tons of people on that staff that already have relationships with Jimmy Sexton, relationships with this agent, that agent, that agent, this agent. They've probably that search firm right now has probably made 25 calls. Would you be interested? Would you be interested? Would you listen? Would you listen? Coburn can only make so many of those calls. So I think Lauren, more than anything else, it's a numbers game. That is let's vet the guys that aren't involved.
Glenn Sujiyama of DHR.
It's DHR.
Yeah.
DHR is a big firm. That's who it is. I was thinking it was Korn Ferry. It's DHR, who's one of the big ones in the business. I want to talk some college hoop. It starts tonight after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, folks, Chick-fil-A is here with a little inspiration for your next dinner. A 30-count tray of nuggets and a side of mac and cheese will surely please the hungry people you'd like to feed. Everyone's going to love getting those tasty golden nuggets for dinner, and the mac and cheese with its crispy brown topping. It can be your surprise side. So when you order on the Chick-fil-A app, you'll also earn rewards toward future chicken. Now that is inspirational. Order dinner today, folks, and order it from the Chick-fil-A app.
In Duval, we know defense. Each week, Superior Fence and Rail presents the Defensive Player of the Game.
If it's moving, hit it.
It's all about defense.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
On 1010XL.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Now your local Hyundai dealers present the Offensive Player of the Game.
Receiver Keelan Cole gave the Houston defense fits during their contest in London. The third-year pro finished the game with 5 receptions on 6 targets and recorded 80 yards receiving for the Teal and Black. Dazzling numbers like that will have the coaches rave, get the rest of the league talking, and get you more involved in the offense. Keelan Cole is your North Florida Hyundai dealer's offensive player of the game.
Team, if we strive to make things better like Hyundai, we will have success. If we commit to being the best like Hyundai, we will have...
Are the snacks after the game, Coach?
Molly's mom brought snacks.
Yeah!
Success!
Right now, get a new Hyundai Elantra or Santa Fe with 0% APR financing for 72 months. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end 11/30/19. Call 877-616-8513 for complete feature and offer details.
Tired of cleaning your gutters after every big storm? A-Plus Gutters says no more. With their leaf and gutter protection, you'll never have to clean out those gutters again. A-Plus offers a 10-year workmanship warranty for any job, big or small. Call A-Plus Gutters, 924-5650.
Ackerman Urology has the latest options for improving men's health and vitality. Their board-certified urologists treat prostate disease and sexual health issues to ensure your confidence and wellness. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
I used to love posting cute little pictures of my kids, and I always made sure to put my settings on private, so no creepers could see them. But I found out the hard way that wasn't enough. I accidentally gave pedophiles access to my child. Luckily, Action News Jax uncovered 2 ways to beat predators at their own game, so I can share my memories online while protecting the ones I love. Tonight at 11 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Action News Jax.
Fox tonight. Don't miss an unforgettable night of drama. On The Resident, a medical breakthrough causes deadly complications.
This is a radical surgery that might paralyze or kill him.
I have a pretty firm grasp on what I can and cannot handle.
Then it's the question everyone's asking. Who kills Lucius?
They say before you die, your whole life flashes in front of you.
Empire, the final season continues right after The Resident. Tonight at 8 on Fox 30.
Flame Broiler's $5 happy hour will keep your wallet and waistline healthy. From 2 to 5 p.m. weekdays and all day Saturday and Sunday, enjoy your choice of all-natural chicken, Angus beef, or organic tofu with veggies served on steamed rice. Try one of our 4 Jacksonville locations today. Simply healthy. Flame Broiler.
And welcome back to another episode of Potty Talk with our current champion. So what's your secret to your perfect plumbing proficiency?
It's simple, really. Roland Reach Plumbing is always the right answer.
Roland Reach Plumbing, 260-7059.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou from McGowan's AC. Around here, November means fun family gatherings and football. Some folks in the kitchen working up a sweat, and others in the TV room arguing over who's going to the playoffs. Here's my advice. Keep your family gatherings from getting heated this holiday, and that's with a tune-up from my friends at McGowan's. Call them 264-COOL or visit McGowan'sAC.com, the official heating and air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
License number CMC 1250075.
Lauren Brooks here for Renewal by Anderson. Maximize the beauty of your home with custom-made windows and patio doors. Experience the miracle of Fibra. It's better than wood, metal, or vinyl. It's the biggest savings of the year for their Black Friday countdown sale. Call before November 29th to save $330 on windows and $850 on patio doors with no down payment, no interest, and no payment for 2 years. Visit the showroom at 9446 Phillips Highway, Suite 7 for additional savings and renewalbyanderson.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important things we can have, and sometimes the most elusive. I'm Mark Anajar from the Law Office of Anajar and Levine. Notifying the police is always a good idea. They can assist in documenting the accident and being a good source of information. Always put your health first and get medical attention if necessary. Take pictures if possible. If you've been in an accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Office in Jacksonville. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Doug Marrone today named Nick Foles the Jaguars starting quarterback moving forward. Marrone was asked why Foles gives them the best option.
For me, it was, looking back at all the work that we put in, and I just go back to the experience and what he's going to be able to do. I think that's going to give us the ability, a better chance of winning right now.
Doug Marrone today, courtesy of Jaguars.com. Gardner Minshew went 4-4 as the Jaguars quarterback. The Jags are off this week. They will play at the Colts in Week 11. Nick Foles may be coming back at the right time. His touchdown-to-interception ratio in the months of November and December, 41-18 during his NFL career. 73 degrees at 4:02. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
More of The Frangie Show now on a Nimnick Tuesday. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Welcome back to the program. Glad you're with us. Let's turn into a little bit of college hoop. Tonight, the college basketball season starts. ESPN's got a lot of the top-ranked teams playing each other. University of North Florida. You heard Matthew Driscoll on with the boys today on primetime. They play Florida to kick off the season for both teams. I'll say this about this Florida basketball team. It's really weird how this has happened. Florida has been okay. They were 20-16 last year, right? Somewhere thereabouts.
Fourth year with 20 wins.
Yeah, so and they snuck into the tournament. Where were they? A 10 or 11 seed, something like that. I think 9 seed. They won a game against Nevada, lost pretty convincingly to Michigan. They were a middling team, right? They were a top 30 team last year at the end of the year. Isn't it something? This average team, and all of a sudden, Mike White said that's enough. They get the best transfer in college basketball in Kerry Blackshear. They signed 2 McDonald's guys in Scotty Lewis and Trey Mann. They returned the 3 freshmen, Keontae Johnson, Nebhart, and Locke. They're a top 10 team. Isn't it amazing how quickly that changes? You generally don't get to the party of elite. In most sports, you don't just get to the party of elite. All of a sudden, they're regarded as – I've seen Jeff Goodman's got them in their Final Four. Jay Billis has them in the final – Jay Billis said they may be the national title, national champion. Pat Forty even admitted he's a skeptic. He's not. He said, "I'm not going all in on Florida. I've got to see more." He's got him 8th. That not all in means 8. Isn't it interesting that a few of these moves, and all of a sudden this team that's been just middling, really, honestly, they would have been in the Final Four if not for Dwayne Notice's 7-step layup that I will refuse to ever let go. I'll never let it go.
Understandable.
But I mean, they've just been a middling program. Now, Mike White's a good coach. I think he's going to do a great job there. I've thought that the whole time. But isn't it funny? A bunch of new guys wear Gator uniforms, and they're regarded as one of the best teams in the country.
It is. It almost feels like on a national level that Florida basketball maybe gets too much credit, and Florida football gets way too less credit than where it is on a national level. But forgetting that, it really is interesting just because of the buzz of Kerry Blackshear. I was sent some odds today from Bet Online, and it was interesting. So they have odds to win the National Player of the Year. Kerry Blackshear is 10-1. I mean, in my wildest dreams, I would never think Florida would have a basketball player that is that good of a shot to win the Naismith. To win the National Player of the Year.
Yeah, Billis thinks Billis said he's probably his pick for Player of the Year
in the nation. Think about that.
Florida's
basketball team might have because even their great title teams and their Final Four teams were more great overall teams. They weren't one huge superstar that sort of carried the day like Carmelo or Durant.
Well, and the interesting thing about that is, this is a guy the NBA wasn't that interested in, but he's a terrific, terrific player. He is 6'10". He had was it 19 and 17 against Duke? That was the big game. That's the one when he got on everybody's radar. He's 6'10". He's a really good three-point shooter. He's a really good rebounder. He's a physical player. He's got great moves around the basket, which they haven't had in a long time. So I get it. It's going to be fun watching him just to see how good he is tonight. I want to watch the game tonight just to see how good Kerry Blackshear is.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff to watch, not just Kerry Blackshear. But, there's only 4 players. You mentioned the 3 sophomores. Then add Deontay Bassett. Those are the only guys that aren't hurt, obviously, because of Gorjak Gak. They were on the team last year that returned for this year.
Yeah, he gutted it. Keith Stone left.
Ballard.
DeAndre Ballard left. Okoro left. And I think part of those were, again, I'm not saying he ran them off, but I think he probably said, look, enough's enough. We're going to go try and win a championship. I don't know how much you're going to play. I would guess that's what happened. But today's 10-10 take, I got a take on this. Today's 10-10 take is brought to you by J. David Tax Law. Peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away. You know all about Scotty Lewis, the 6'5", the newest Bradley Beal. It'll be a lottery pick next year. He's going to be so important. Trey Mann is the other McDonald's guy who's a 6'4" slasher who I think will come off the bench. who'd be really good. You know about Blackshear, maybe the player of the year, the 6'10 center power forward type. I'm going to give you a name that I think might be the most important guy, and you probably barely heard his name, and that's the other freshman, Omar Payne. Omar Payne is a 6'10" true freshman. I got to see a little of him in the exhibition. He is the one thing they haven't had since Joakim Noah and Al Horford. He's a legitimate 6'10", long-armed rim protector. When is the last time they had rim protection? People want to say John Egbunu. At times he was. He was physical. He could jump. But he was hurt a lot. He was an offensive liability. It just seemed like he wasn't really there. Don't you feel that way? But I feel like, so for me, Payne may not start the season as a starter, but he will. You talk about upside. This is an NBA guy. I'm still not even sure Blackshear is an NBA guy because the NBA didn't want him last year. They won those 2 back-to-back titles. I think Lee Humphrey was great. He made all the shots, and Torian Green was a wonderful point guard, and certainly Brewer was a slasher. He was their McDonald's guy. They won 2 national titles because they had 2 7-footers or whatever they were, 6'10", 6'11 guys. They dominated games. Horford and Noah are why they won the 2 titles. I'm sorry, they are. They're why they won the 2 titles. They don't win the titles without either one of those guys. This is the first guy they've had like that. 6'10", jumps out of the gym, knocks balls away. The most important freshman by the time this thing is over is going to be Omar Payne. That's the 10-10 take.
10-10 take.
It's going to be really fun watching them. And again, it'll be fascinating to watch how Mike White goes about forming what will be the rotation because of all the newness and because of how deep they are. Does he want to play 10 guys regularly? Does he want to play 8 guys regularly? How do those roles form? It doesn't look like Scotty Lewis is even going to start. When you look at Florida's projected starters and their game notes, Scotty Lewis is not a starter. They're going to start Keontae Johnson, Blackshear, Mann, Nebhart, and Locke, which I think is similar to what he did against Lynn in the exhibition. So, I mean, again, did you ever think Florida basketball would be at a point? It's always been good, but it's always been the sum of the parts has been greater than the individual talent. Did you ever think this program would get to a point where it's got a guy that a lot of people believe will be a lottery pick coming off the bench?
Yeah, and I wouldn't – correct. I totally 100% agree. I wouldn't think that's going to last.
Well, just the fact that it's happening
tonight, right? No,
once.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. By the way, so that's a great point. Tells you how talented they are. I will also say this. When the season moves along, Payne has got to start alongside Blackshear. I would not start Keontae Johnson. I know everybody loves Keontae Johnson because he's a physical.
I love him.
He jumps out of the gym. He's 6'5", though, Lauren. Can you rebound with a 6'5" guy playing the 4 in today's college basketball?
Well, why would you do it if you don't have to?
Yeah.
If you have a 6'10" kid that has that length.
Well, you're right. I guess it doesn't matter who starts the game. But for me, you're going to be at your best when Blackshear and Payne are in there together. 2 6'10" guys who can rebound. Again, I'll say it again. When they won national titles, Horford and Noah were in there together. There were 2 big physical guys in there together. I think Payne is the guy. I want to see Payne and Blackshear together. And I think you will, by the way, some. But I
want to see Jason Jatoba, our latest guy who has shed a ton of weight.
Yeah, Jason Jatobo is like, now he's like, he almost looks like a normal basketball player. He was very heavy when he got there.
Lost 35 pounds since July.
He's a project, but I think with Gak out and his Bassett sort of out, he's going to play some now. He's going to play some, so we'll see. But I'm telling you, keep an eye on Payne. Lewis will play a bunch. Lewis, by the way, is a very good defender, which is why I'm surprised he's not starting. Coaches generally will start the defender. And
especially Mike White.
And Mann is more correct. And Mann is more of an explosive slasher, off the bench kind of guy. That's the kind of guy that brings you instant offense. So usually you bring that guy off the bench. So I'm surprised Mann's starting and not Lewis. But I'll say it again. Payne is the guy to watch. That's the guy I'll be watching tonight. More to talk about in a bit. Let's get back to football after this on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
If you're getting serious about selling your home, well, I have good news for you. You can get a competitive offer on your house in just 24 hours. Lauren Brooks here for Open Door, the easy and convenient way to sell your house. Selling your home is difficult enough. Trust me, last-minute showings are no fun, and it's so frustrating when you've gotten your house all ready for a showing and then the potential buyers cancel. I dealt with all of that when I was selling my house a few years ago, and that's why I recommend Open Door to all of my friends who are ready to sell. When you can stop worrying, you can start moving on. You'll enjoy complete flexibility and control of your moving timeline, and you can get paid in a matter of days after closing. If you have any questions, Open Door's experienced team is here to help. Just go to opendoor.com like I did and enter your home information, and you'll get a competitive offer within 24 hours. opendoor.com/myoffer is your place to go today. So what are you waiting for? That's opendoor.com/myoffer. Offer eligibility varies.
Ever wish a button could undo what you said at the office party?
Ned, my office now.
A button for emptying the dishwasher.
Honey, dishes!
If you have sleep apnea but have trouble using CPAP, now there's a button to replace it. It's called Inspire. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just a click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Nimnick Chevrolet is the #1 Chevrolet dealership in Jacksonville, and they just won Dealer of the Year for 2018. Some of the reasons they're #1 is that they have the most inventory and the best price guarantee. They've been serving and donating to this community for 78 years, and no one cares more about the customers before, but more importantly, after the sale. That's Nimnick Chevrolet. Head there today, won't you? Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Get Diamonds Direct's unbeatable price plus an extra 20% off virtually everything. Yes, it's happening next weekend, November 15th through 17th. All rings, all earrings, all pendants, all bracelets, all on sale. This is the biggest and last sale of the year. The one where they break all the rules. The selection is like double the norm. And designers are here with their entire lines. All at the absolute lowest prices of the year. Plus special financing. Shop early for Christmas and save. It's November 15th, 16th, and 17th. Only at Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway, next to the Hyatt.
My name is Janice. I'm a client of Brett Hastings. Brett is the most brilliant, diligent, hardworking attorney I have ever met. He is truly dedicated to his clients and fights for them to the very end. Brett fought hard to win a large personal injury lawsuit for me. They are the very best legal team I have ever met. I would hire them again in a heartbeat.
Learn more at justiceforjacksonville.com. Law offices of Brett Hastings, where the injured find justice.
Friday Night Lights.
We're coming to you live Friday night. Friday Night Lights. We back in high school.
After the game, join Hacker and Denny Thompson. Recap this week's high school football games and hear from the winning coaches on the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights.
Streamsong is home to Florida's highest-rated golf collection. Streamsong Red, Streamsong Blue, and of course Streamsong Black, which Golf Digest 2018 just named as the best new public course in North America. I'm talking about Streamsong Black. Of course, 4 fine and casual restaurants, a rooftop bar, spa, and 3 nationally ranked courses: Streamsong Red, Blue, and Streamsong Black. Streamsong. Check them out today. Visit StreamSongResort.com.
Now, the performance painting play of the game.
You gotta claim it!
Performance painting. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Houston's Carlos Hyde was on a breakaway downfield with under 5 minutes left to go in regulation. However, Jacksonville's Gerard Wilson would turn on the Jets and strip Hyde from behind, allowing the teal and black to fall on it and saving what would have been a potential TD for Houston. You're taught to never give up on a play, and Wilson epitomized that quote. The Wilson strip is your performance painting play of the game.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting!
Rooted in the heart of the community, By Your Side Senior Care is your trusted source of quality in-home care for your loved ones. From companionship to personal care, we offer the complete solution when it comes to private duty care. And as a family-owned and operated business, you can rest assured we'll always go above and beyond to deliver the standards you and your family truly deserve. Discover all we have to offer at ByYourSideFL.com. ByYourSideFL.com.
By Your Side Senior Care. I love the fall in Jacksonville. You know what else is absolutely out of this world? The fall over at the Blue Crab House. Sit out in that deck, enjoy the best Bloody Marys in town. Absolutely a staple right here throughout the city. Located on Julington Creek Road in San Jose, the best seafood, crabs, oysters, it does not matter. Locally owned and operated going back to 1996. I'm talking about the Blue Crab House, located on Julington Creek Road in San Jose.
I'm Dr. Eric Kim of the Heekin Clinic. I've dedicated my career to helping eliminate joint pain many patients suffer every day. At the Heekin Clinic, we use the most advanced surgical and non-surgical techniques, including robotic-aided knee replacement, which has produced outstanding results for our patients. I'm excited to be part of the Heekin Clinic team and look forward to helping the patients in Northeast Florida live a pain-free life.
The Heekin Clinic, a full-service orthopedic surgical practice specializing in knees and hips. Log on and search for Heekin Clinic today.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
More of The Frangie Show now on a Nimnick Tuesday. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
So now that you hear London calling, you're thinking, well, wait a minute. Lauren, Frank, Gibby, Hayes, that was last week. Well, there's a really interesting story out there that you may or may not have seen, written in The Athletic, that there's a chance the Chargers would consider moving to London on a full-time basis. It's a very interesting story. Now, Dean Spanos came out and said it's not true today, but the story was very involved. Did you guys read it? Did you see the story?
I haven't, but I've seen the nutshell of it.
It's very in-depth. It talks about details, how it would happen. And the belief is that the Chargers have no foothold in Los Angeles. They're playing at this little 30,000-seat stadium in Carson, California, and they're always the road team. Apparently, when the Steelers went there were 30,000 Steeler fans in a 30,000-seat stadium. Same, I think, with the Eagles and a couple other teams. The players are even complaining now that they've got 16 road games. They never have a home crowd. And even though they're moving into the new mega stadium next year that Stan Kroenke is building, and they'll share it with the Rams, they believe the Rams have a foothold because they were in Los Angeles forever. Even though the Chargers actually were in L.A. for a small period of time before going to San Diego, they were in San Diego for 56 years. So the belief is they'll never have a foothold there, and that they would listen if the NFL asked them to move to London. The new Tottenham Stadium is state-of-the-art. It was built for both soccer and with both football and football in mind. How'd I do?
Well done.
Okay, in mind.
A little more emphasis on foot.
Okay, but I went hard.
Close.
That's about all I got. But the truth is, so there's a belief that could happen. Now, what does that mean? There's a lot of hoops to jump through. What is it? Would they do it before the next CBA? What does it mean for travel teams that have to travel over there? What division would they play in? There were two scenarios that the author came up with. One was they flop with the Texans. The Texans go to the AFC West, and the London Chargers are then in the AFC South, which would be very interesting for the Jaguars if that happened, because then the Jaguars would have presumably a home game and a road game in London every year built in. That would be built in. Your trip to London and your home game against whoever, which I would imagine would be the back-to-backers that everybody's talking about, right? So really interesting stuff. The other thing they suggested would be the Texans go to the West, the Chargers go to the AFC East because it's easier to fly from Boston and New York and Buffalo to London than it is from the South, and the Dolphins come to the AFC South, which would be really interesting. And I thought, okay, so then the South becomes Colts, Titans, Jags, Dolphins. I think that'd be kind of cool. And the Texans go to the West, and the Chargers go to the AFC East. I think I'd kind of like that.
Yeah,
that would be kind of that configuration. I think I'd like the best.
It is interesting. I would like it too. I don't see the league breaking up the Dolphins-Patriots, Dolphins-Jets, and Dolphins-Bills rivalries. Those are great rivalries. Those teams have struggled, but that's a lot of history to break up. And I don't think there's that big of a difference flying. I mean, does it save you an hour and a half? Yes, but it's not substantial. Not enough to where I think the London team would have to be paired with Boston, and then New York and Buffalo in the East. So I think when you look at it, I do think the Chargers are going to be in London. I've never thought putting 2 teams in LA was the stupidest thing the league has done in a while, because first off, LA was a market where football didn't exist for 25 years, and they weren't really all that upset about that. So now you've got this apathetic market that now you're force-feeding 2 teams into. Like, I think the Rams can work, but that stadium is the Rams stadium. Kroenke's the one that's building it. The Chargers are just a tenant. I don't think you can be a tenant. The Jets and Giants actually share the Meadowlands, the MetLife Stadium. So that makes a little more sense. This is not that. This is basically the Rams have a stadium that the Chargers are renting. And I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think there's any chance that the Chargers get any kind of fan support. It's going to be tough enough for the Rams to do it. And so I think when you look at all of that, it makes a lot of sense. If you're going to put a team in London, it makes a lot of sense for it to be the Chargers. I still think the NFL would be making a mistake to put a permanent team in London. The best thing for the league to do when it comes to that market is, particularly if they're getting ready to go to 17 games in the next CBA, which that seems like there's a good chance that happens, is you make every team play an international game, and that gives you 8 in Wembley. It could probably give you another couple even in that market in Tottenham. So you could play maybe 4 in Tottenham, 8 in Wembley or whatever, but maybe play 12 in that market. And then you still have Mexico and wherever else the league wants to take it, Canada. And I know they have an idea into branching out even further. So that would make sense. But I don't think London has never shown any interest in wanting a team. There's still no media coverage of the NFL when they're over there. It's not part of their core. It is a sideshow that, yes, they will go to, but I don't think they're going to support their own team. They want to sample the NFL. They don't want to be married to it in terms of this is the team we see every week. So I think at the end of the day, the Chargers are kind of stuck. But if they ended up doing anything with moving a team, they will move the Chargers to London.
Would be interesting. We're going to take a break because we're late here. But I got more thoughts about that. But I will tell you, I love it on a lot of fronts. I really like it. And I'll explain more about why I like it after the break.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Get game day started early with a 1010XL kickoff show, powered by Coastal Equipment. Brought to you by Sawyer Gas and Mr. Reuter Plumbing with Lauren Brooks at Tony Smith and Hayes Carline, 5 hours before kickoff of every game.
This is Hayes Carline for Harrell & Harrell. If you're in need of a personal injury attorney, you need someone with a deep level of compassion. That is Holt and Julie Harrell. I've known Holt and Julie for over 25 years. Trust me, you can count on them. They pride themselves on helping others and have applied it to helping people in their time of need. They work hard for their clients with a sophisticated knowledge of the legal system. Smart, savvy, but most important, compassionate. Hopefully you won't need them. But if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell at 251-1111.
How tough is the new 2019 Crewmax Toyota truck? Well, it's tough enough for Ernie Palmer Toyota and 1010XL to give one away this fall. Fact is, Ernie Palmer Toyota now has your toughest and coolest Tundras, Tacomas, Highlanders, and Sequoias just sitting around waiting for you to drive. So visit Ernie Palmer Toyota today and keep an eye out for the Ernie Palmer Weekly Pick'em Contest this football season on 1010XL.com, where you'll have a chance to win a Crewmax Toyota Tundra, only from Ernie Palmer Toyota.
My husband has to wear a suit and tie to work every day, and that collared shirt would rub up against his neck and just cause such irritation. Now he's not dealing with any of that anymore. Can you relate, guys? Laser hair removal was the answer for him. It was the answer for me as a woman, but yeah, guys do this all of the time because think about it. We all have embarrassing, unwanted hair. Everybody's looking for that more permanent solution to getting rid of embarrassing, unwanted hair for good. You are too, right? Well, November is the month to feel grateful. With Thanksgiving just around the corner, And before the holiday madness begins, Ideal Image Med Spa wants you to take care of yourself. You deserve it. Why wax or shave when you have to keep doing it over and over again? Like I said, a more permanent solution. It's awesome. Call for your private complimentary consultation, 904-652-0652. That's 904-652-0652. Located at the Markets at Town Center, US 17, just south of Orange Park on Fleming Island, and St. Augustine in Diane's Marketplace. Medical Director, Dr. Holly Hickman, and IdealImage.com.
Hacker here. This Friday, come join the XL Primetime crew live for the Sonny's Barbecue Pitmaster Tour Live from Sonny's Barbecue in Brunswick, Georgia at New Jessup Highway. Stop by for lunch and come enjoy amazing new menu items and get some tips and recipes from the Pitmasters themselves.
Right now at Ring Power, your local cat dealer, get 0% for 60 months with zero down on select new cat compact equipment. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or rent, we've got the right solution to fit your job site needs. Call Ring Power at 904-295-1062 or visit ringpower.com/CCE offer Jacks. That's Ring Power at 904-295-1062 or ringpower.com/CCE offer Jacks. Terms and conditions apply.
The best of XL Primetime Replay is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, helping you be the best when you play.
Hey, JJ, can we get some clapping on that because Bob Stoops not a candidate at Florida State? I was a little worried, to be quite honest with you. There we go. I love it. All right, I was a little concerned, all right? Bob Stoops is going to keep the XFL job.
You were like, Mark Stoops, that's cool.
Yeah, Mark, we'll take the little brother, but not the big
brother.
These days, many people are trying to be more mindful of what they eat. And if you're one of them, check out GreenWise products at Publix. With organic options, foods made without artificial preservatives, and meats raised without antibiotics ever. So no matter what you're into, we're in your corner with food choices that fit your lifestyle. Because each of us is just trying to be our best self, right? Check out Publix.com/GreenWise to learn more. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. My favorite part of the holidays is being with the people I love the most. Do you have someone special coming to visit you this holiday season? Do you want everything to look and feel just perfect? We at Zero Res would love to come help you do just that. We can clean your carpets, area rugs, tile and grout, sofas and chairs, and even clean and seal your granite countertops. Our schedule's filling up fast, so call us today. Right now, get your carpets cleaned for only $43 per room. And be sure to ask about the deal on tile and grout. Zero Res spelled forward and backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Complete shows commercial free as soon as the live broadcast ends.
Radio, huh?
1010XL On Demand, presented by Kuhn Flowers.
Search 1010XL in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
and subscribe to 1010XL On Demand.
or visit 1010XL.com.
Hey, what are we going to eat for dinner tonight? How about Mr. Chubby's? Mr. Chubby's again? Heck yes, I love Mr. Chubby's wings. They have great specials. You can get $7 domestic pitchers and $3 kids meals on Tuesdays. Well, let's chub it up then.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island and the West Side. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Got a clogged drain or a problem with your sewer? Dial 6951901. Don't tell me, let me guess, call Metro Router. Dial 6951901 or MetroRouter.com.
Nobody likes to have plumbing problems at their home or business, but if you do, call Metro Router. We provide fast same-day service with the right parts and equipment on hand to get you up and running. For all your plumbing and septic tank needs, call the best. Just pick up the phone and dial
6951901 or MetroRouter.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Thanks to the coaches and the schools who believe in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Head Coach Ferland Dormery of Trinity Christian Academy High School. Our athletic program selected Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to work with our state championship football team and will continue to use them. We recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life.
SOS.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It's Diamonds Direct's biggest and final sale of the year. A 3-day, $30 million pre-holiday store-wide event. November 15th, 16th, and 17th. You get instant savings. 20% off virtually everything. Plus, top jewelry designers are flying in with their entire collections on sale. An expanded selection of rings, earrings, pendants, bands, bracelets. Lowest prices all year. Guys, shop early for Christmas. Save big. This is it. The last big sale of the year. November 15th through 17th at Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway, next to the Hyatt.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
More of The Frangie Show now on a Nimnicht Tuesday. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941.
All right, let's stay on this topic of the Chargers to London, if indeed that was going to happen. It sounds like to me, like you just said a minute ago, Hayes, if they were ever going to do it, this is the team. This is a team without a home. People have talked about Jacksonville over the years. Well, Jacksonville has a home and a good home. That doesn't mean they won't play some games there, but they've got a home. The Chargers are truly a team without a home. Can't go back to San Diego. They're never going to build a stadium. They made that clear. The Los Angeles, they're a second team. I would love you. You don't think they'll break up Dolphins, Jets, Bills, Patriots, and I get it that they've been together for a long time. I would love that though. I would love for Jacksonville and Miami to be in the same division.
Me too.
For so many reasons.
Oh yeah,
it'd be so cool. So I would
South
love.
Beach is better than Houston.
And while you're at it, give us Tampa Bay and give us Atlanta and New Orleans.
But I think this one it makes some sense. It makes more sense than the other configurations. The other would be, I told you, Texans. Either way, the Texans and I don't know if this is just a writer speculating, but it's interesting stuff. Either way, the Texans would go to the West. So, having said all that, I like it for a myriad of reasons. Number one, I do think there is going to be this push by some, to move a team to London. Even though you say London doesn't want it, the media doesn't cover it, there are enough people. It's still about what people push, and there's enough people pushing to have a team there one day. That's what people are pushing. So I'd love it to be somebody else's team. I don't ever think it's going to be Jacksonville. I'll stand my ground on that forever. But it sure makes me feel better if somebody else goes there. So I don't think it's ever happening with Jacksonville. So if it does, let me ask you this. So that's why I like it. There would be somebody else's team. I love the new configuration if it involved the Jags and involved the South. And I do think if the Chargers went to the South, the fact that the Jags would go over the 2 weeks in a row would be done. A lot of people, I know Jeff and Dan talked about it this morning some, and a lot of people are speculating, did Shad's comments in England indicate that there might be two Jaguar home games in London? Now, Shad never said that, and I'm not sure I believe that'll ever happen, but some are speculating, what if? What if? Well, if the Jags played two home games in London of their 8 home games, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a rude slap in the face to the fan base. And I understand the viability, but you already took one game. And I think this city has supported the team. This stadium doesn't sell out, no. But overall, I think the city has been there even when the team hasn't been performing very well, which has been a lot over the past decade or so. So I think it would be met with a lot of upset fans.
What do you think?
You can't do it unless one of the two is a preseason game. If you want to get into the habit of playing your final home preseason game and then maybe opening the year in London, which helps with the heat here, it gets you away from that. I mean, again, a lot of times they're playing in London on a day in Jacksonville where it's really nice football weather. It would be nice to go watch a game outside.
Sunday is the perfect example.
Yeah, as opposed to September 8th when you're boiling. So I think if it was like a preseason element, and that would be a good market test, will they sell out over there to watch a bunch of scrubs play in a game? If they will, then why wouldn't you do that? But I think if it's 2 regular season games, and it's not a one-off. It's not, hey, we're doing something to the stadium to renovate it.
Right.
The stadium won't be ready
until
October 1st.
Right.
So we're going to have to go 2 games in London and then 2 games on the road, and then we'll be back here. But if it becomes part of the permanent plan of we will play 2 home games in Wembley and 6 regular season games in Jacksonville, the franchise will not last in Jacksonville because the fans will turn their back on them.
All right, I disagree with that, but let me go back to something you said. Something we all said. And by the way, I have no idea if they ever plan to do that. I have no idea I don't know if they ever want to play 2 games in London. I do think they want to play a home and away, which I get.
Sure.
Do you make extra money on the away in London like you do the home in London?
I don't know.
I think the reason that would have made sense is if Shad could have purchased Wembley. And until
And since-
that
yeah,
becomes
that's off the
more of
table.
a reality, then I kind of agree. I don't know why that really benefits the
Right.
Jaguars, but I don't know if does the league give something to the road team
I
that
don't know either.
goes.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing.
Or is it just one more chance to market your team there? Who has an appetite for your team? Even though you'd be playing at Tottenham in a different stadium, you'd still be there for a week and whatnot. But I don't know as far as if there's a tangible payoff. But let me ask you this, and again, I hope they never play. I hope they play 7 games here and the one in London. But to the people but if he did announce they're playing 2 in London, if he did say that, the guy that goes to all 8, I can see why he'd be upset because that's 1 less. Now it's 2 less, or the guy that goes to all 7, right? The guy that goes to all 7. But and again, let me be clear. I'm not saying I hope they do it. I hope they don't do it. But I'm just telling you, trying to look at this thing from 10,000 feet, why would it matter to someone that goes to 5 games or that doesn't go to games or that goes to 4 games? If you're going to go to if you go to all 7 and you would be devastated that now you can only go to 6, I'm talking about regular season games. Oh, and I get it. But if you're not that person, why would it bother you?
Well, I think don't you see that as at that point a slippery slope of it's gone from 1, now it's 2.
Then it's 4.
At
then
what
they
point
leave.
will it be 4? And
then
I think
do
a lot
they
of
leave?
fans
Yeah.
at that point say, why should I emotionally attach myself to this franchise, continue to emotionally attach myself to this franchise, and use a lot of my disposable income to support them if
they're going to
the
leave.
sign that they're giving
Yeah.
me is in 10 years we're not going to be
Yeah,
here.
if I thought there's any chance they would leave because of that, then I'd be bothered too. And I'm not saying I wouldn't be. I'm really trying to take both sides of this. If you go to 5 games a year, why would you care if there's 6 instead of 7?
Well, to Hayes' point about the heat, if you're someone who says I'm not able to or not willing to sit in 95+ degree heat
Right.
in the beginning of the season, don't take my game in October, November,
I hear
December
you.
when it's going to be super nice out in
Good
Florida.
point. That's a good point.
And
Yeah.
now you're moving my game to London. I can't go to those first
Yeah.
couple
Yeah.
games of the regular season, but I can absolutely go to the other ones, and now you've taken it away.
And again, I want to be clear. Someone on Twitter, love Twitter. Someone's going to say, Frangie wants them to play 2 in London. No, I don't. I'm just trying to be honest here.
Well, the goal is to play none in London.
Yeah.
But to have the
Well, I don't think that's never happening.
ever? You don't think
Ever.
that this
They-
fan base could sustain the team
I
if the
think
team's
that-
ready to win every year?
Not as long as Shad Khan owns the Jaguars.
I think they believe, and I believe them, that the 15 or 20% or whatever it is of revenues come from London helps make this franchise viable, and that it wouldn't be viable if they didn't have that money.
And I've understood that, but I think if the team started winning the entire AFC every single year, you're talking about a different demand for tickets, and therefore it's possible that playing there no longer needs to happen.
Yeah, if they become the Patriots and are guaranteed to stay the Patriots, that's not very realistic either. So again, for me, I've thought about this. I think there's a perception thing. There's the optics of it. Well, there's 1 game in London. Now there's 2 in London. How long before there's 4 in London, and are they going to move to London? The optics are a concern. And I'm sure Shad and Mark Lamping, if they ever wanted to play 2 home games in London, they would have to deal with that. But I can tell you from my standpoint, I'd rather have 6 games here than 0 games here. So I wouldn't turn my back on the team. I mean, my favorite baseball team plays 1,000 miles away. I see them 3 times a year, but it doesn't affect my passion for them. This would still be in my mind. And again, I can't be clear about this. I don't want this to happen, but I'm thinking the guy who I think would be the most upset and would have a right to be upset is the fan that goes to all 7, or for that matter, all 9 that are played here. Now that guy's thinking, I just lost another. I lost 1, now I lost 2.
And that's your best fan.
Yeah, that's right. And I don't know how many there are of those that actually not just buy season tickets, but actually sit in those seats. And there's plenty, but I don't know what the number is. But that's the fan that I would think. So again, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. All this stuff is up for debate. My guess is what's really going to happen. If you ask me what I think is going to happen, I think it'll be a home and away. I think the day's going to come when the Jags always play a home game here, play the other 7 here, and then play an away game too. So they'll be gone for 2 weeks, home and away. And they'll always be a road team for somebody. The league will build it to where they're the road team. So instead of finding 2 teams to go every year, at least for that 1 week, they'll only have to find 1. That's where I think it's going to go. And I don't think anybody would care about that. It doesn't affect you at all over here. the home game. So, but it's going to be a very
There's always going to be people that care, but yeah.
Well, I don't think
Because
it's going to
you can
change the dynamic.
No, I get it. But there's a lot of people that I know that go to road games, and they go on a pretty consistent basis. But going to London obviously costs way more than going to a road game.
But
in
Lauren,
the
they'd
United
still
States.
have 8 they could go to.
Sure, but I just mean as far as if you take one of the away games away, if it was
Again,
the Denver one, now it's going to be in London, then that's a game they would have loved to go to.
That only affects people if they go to all 8 road games. I mean, you're right. I mean, if it's if there's a site that they really wanted to get to that 1 year, that would affect them. So again, I think it's going to be home and away is what I think.
Another thing real quick, I know we need to get to break, but Shad is showing some apprehension about the deal getting extended, and that could be his negotiating tactic of, look, to Goodell, our team will be one of your road teams, because it is hard to get teams to go there as the road team.
Correct.
We will be willing to do that if we can keep our agreement where we're always going to have a game at Wembley Stadium. And so that could be a concession the Jaguars are making.
And I think their home and road is a great idea, by the way, because now you get a week over there. I think anybody now that wants to go there can really have a good time going over there. So we'll see. We will take a break. More in a moment. This is 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Lauren Brooks here for Renewal by Anderson. Maximize the beauty of your home with custom-made windows and patio doors. Experience the miracle of Fibrex. It's better than wood, metal, or vinyl. Renewal by Anderson windows are 2 times stronger than vinyl. They never fog up, are maintenance-free, and custom designed for you. You'll get a free in-home consultation by a highly qualified representative, and you'll experience superior customer service throughout the entire process. Renewal by Anderson windows will keep you warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer, and quieter all year long. It's the biggest savings of the year for their Black Friday countdown sale. Call before November 29th to save $330 on windows and $850 on patio doors with no down payment, no interest, and no payment for 2 years. Visit the showroom at 9446 Phillips Highway, Suite 7 for more savings and renewalbyanderson.com. Restrictions apply. See website for details. Renewal by Anderson, a better way to a better window. License number CGC 1527613.
Hit it. Every contest has a moment where the rubber hits the road.
A 4th and goal.
Listen for the TireOutlet.com drive of the game on 1010XL. TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
I used to love posting cute little pictures of my kids, and I always made sure to put my settings on private, so no creepers could see them. But I found out the hard way that wasn't enough. I accidentally gave pedophiles access to my child. Luckily, Action News Jax uncovered 2 ways to beat predators at their own game, so I can share my memories online while protecting the ones I love. Tonight at 11 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Action News Jax.
Fox tonight. Don't miss an unforgettable night of drama. On The Resident, a medical breakthrough causes deadly complications.
This is a radical surgery that might paralyze or kill him.
I have a pretty firm grasp on what I can and cannot handle.
Then it's the question everyone's asking. Who kills Lucius?
They say before you die, your whole life flashes in front of you.
Empire, the final season continues right after The Resident. Tonight at 8 on Fox 30.
Team, if we strive to make things better like Hyundai, we will have success. If we commit to being the best like Hyundai, we will have...
Are the snacks after the game, Coach?
Molly's mom brought snacks.
Yeah!
Success! Right now, get a new Hyundai Elantra or Santa Fe with 0% APR financing for 72 months. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end 11/30/19. Call 877-616-8513 for complete feature and offer details.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists helps you be the best when you play and brings you
the best of Into the Night Replay.
If you were to rank college football jobs, I've always considered Florida State. Top 5 is probably overdoing it. I've always considered them a top 10 job. Right now, they're not in the top 10 because they don't have the cash flow that they once had. And it's also an extremely fickle fan base.
Guys, this is Movember. The urologists with McKeever Clinic urge you to take action to live healthier, happier, and longer lives. Take the time to stay connected to your friends and have open conversations about men's health. Know the numbers. At 50, talk to your doctor about prostate cancer. If it runs in the family, do it at 45. Be inspired to grow out your mustache this Movember to raise awareness for men's health. McKeever Clinic, innovators in urological care since 1921. McKeeverClinic.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Lauren Wilkerson, a senior track and field athlete at Paxton High. Lauren is a member of the National Honor Society and the Spanish Honor Society. Congratulations, Lauren.
At Farah and Farah, our philosophy can be boiled down to one word: respect. Respect for every client, regardless of who they are or the size of their case. Respect for innocent victims, and respect for the law. So when the insurance company thinks they can bully you instead of paying a claim, we respectfully disagree. If you're hurt, call Farah and Farah. We'll help you get the respect you deserve. Call 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
Want a great local company you can count on to provide the best benefits your employees deserve? Then call Travis Cummings at the Bailey Group. His number is 461-1800, and the employees you hire want to deliver their best to you. Now you can make sure their benefits match that effort. Travis Cummings and the Bailey Group, ready to battle the rising cost of healthcare for employers all over the First Coast. Just call Travis Cummings at 461-1800 and work with the Bailey Group. Log on to mbaileygroup.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
More of The Frangie Show now on a Nimnick Tuesday. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
So we'll talk at the bottom of the hour, the State Farm College Football Report. One segment left with Lauren Brooks, and she gets set to do helmets and heels. What any letdown for the Gators against Vandy? You worried?
I'm not worried in the least.
Not in the least?
Not in the least.
What you?
I can't believe it's a 25-point spread. I mean, that's ridiculous.
And it's grown since.
Yeah.
Has it really?
I'm worried.
Didn't you tell me it was 21.5 yesterday?
No, I saw it at 25.
Okay. So
yeah, but I mean, that's ridiculous.
I'm worried in the least. You're not worried in the least, huh?
I think it's 24-16 kind of game.
So
I think it's going to maybe not come down to the final play.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's a 25-point coast.
And I even think it's 24-16 and the Gators get a late one and they win 31-16. I think the line ought to be a couple touchdowns.
UNLV beat this team 34-10.
But they're playing different than they were
Florida
then.
Tough.
Yeah, but they're playing different than they were then. This is Vanderbilt. Since then, hasn't Vanderbilt beaten?
They beat Missouri.
That's the only one.
And then lost to South Carolina 24-7.
Okay, then maybe just think about the Missouri game. So
not in the least.
Yeah, okay. The
I hope you're right.
So I also probably wasn't nervous last year and really deserved
you'd give me Vandy in the 25?
Not necessarily, but 20
I mean,
by 3
you
touchdowns.
went the least. When you go not the least, right?
3 touchdowns is not in the least, and that's still less than 25 points.
Okay, so yeah.
I think this team
I think Florida's
going to
beat. I'm glad the trip to Missouri is not this week.
Yes,
I'm glad. I'm very glad. Missouri. They played Missouri albeit at home, right after Georgia last year, and it affected them. So I'm glad this game. And I think and look, I say it again. That Georgia-Florida game, it felt like Georgia dominated the game. Yet here we are. Typical Dan Mullen teams are always in it. It's 24-17, 4 minutes left. And Georgia faces a 3rd and 8, and Florida got a pretty good pass rush and had pretty good coverage, and a really good veteran college football player made the play of the game by hitting Wolf, the tight end, off his back foot who was pretty well covered. So that's against a really good Georgia team. So they're probably what you thought they were, which is a 10-2 team that plays the elite teams, LSU and Georgia, really close, but can't quite finish. Can't quite get there. Played uphill a lot, can't quite get there. So, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what it is. Because they don't go up and down the field on people, because they're not up and down the field, you know what I mean? I just can't get there to where I think I'm greatly confident. By the way, they're going to beat Vanderbilt. They're going to beat Vanderbilt 31-20 or whatever it is. But I don't know that I don't think Florida has any automatics. I guess that's my feeling about them.
I just feel like Florida's run game has been bottled up, and it's time to break out. I think the running backs are frustrated, and the offensive line, who knows, with Bleish out, maybe they're going to be a little bit better.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Bleish was out since like you said, third series of that game last week. I don't know that the Bleish stuff affects me very much.
Yeah, there's some defensive injuries, in terms of Moon and Bernie, guys that I think are pretty good players that they're not going to have. I do wonder how much Grenard and Zuniga will play. Are they really 100%? To me, and it just feels like the kind of game where Florida's going to be, even though it's at home, a little flat. It's noon. That doesn't tend to be a good time for Florida in terms of playing their best games. And I think Vanderbilt will come in with confidence despite their record. I mean, they had a big lead on Florida last year in Nashville, and their running back got hurt. He's back. The kind of air went out of their sideline, and they couldn't recover. But I think if I'm Vanderbilt, I have confidence that I can at least make it a 4-quarter game. Do I have confidence I can win the game? No, you've won twice, and we're into November now. So obviously, they're a team that has a great deal of difficulty, closing. I just don't think it's going to be easy. I will be surprised if it's easy.
All right, hey,
Vanderbilt, real quick. Vanderbilt
yes.
has given up 202.5 yards on the ground each game. Their run defense is 107th out of 130.
How about that? So
would you play Emory Jones a lot based on that stat?
Yeah, and because I think Mullen, again, Chris Bleish just went to the portal. We're in an age where we're trying to keep people out of the portal. Mullen was made a point to say in his presser this week, hey, we planned on playing Emory more. He was disappointed. I worry about that a little. I wonder if that is a trip, because with today's football, he's going to be a good player now. In today's game, where you don't have to be a draw. I don't think Trask is playing ahead of Emory Jones, because Trask is 6'5", drop back style quarterback, and Emory's not. In fact, that's not what Dan Mullen wants to play. He's playing ahead of Emory Jones because he's older and was more ready. That's the only reason he's playing and Emory's not. Yes, I'd play. I would probably be if it was me, a steady diet of Emory Jones this week. I'm not saying he'd play half the game, but yes, I'd play him a lot. So take an hour off. How were the ribs and the chicken?
It was all delicious, thank you. Brian has a really good way of doing the ribs.
Yeah.
I guess just because it's smoked and it has that like perfect bark.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
How were the beans?
Fantastic. The beans were
they properly scrubbed?
They were properly soaked and boiled. I really like when beans, whether it be
was
black-eyed
it soaked and not
peas,
scrubbed?
Yeah.
Dang
Whether it be black-eyed peas or pinto beans, these
Why
were
are you
pinto
laughing?
beans.
It could have been scrubbed for all you know.
When
You've
they're-
never soaked or scrubbed beans.
When they're boiled long enough that they start to split open, and then that way they can kind of take in that juice and that salt. Oh my gosh, that's like my favorite, and they were fantastic.
Do you ever soak and scrub the beans at any point? No, you
no
never scrub them.
scrubbing.
So I asked you yesterday if you ever soaked beans. You telling me you never scrubbed or soaked beans, Hayes?
That
Is
is
what you're telling me?
correct.
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so do you have any leftover scrubbed soaked beans and
That's
chicken
what I'm
ribs?
eating for dinner tonight.
Is that right?
It's just I just have chicken and the beans.
Okay.
And some broth.
The ribs are all going. That's before you come on the air with helmets and heels. That's
That's
kind of what
right.
you do, like in your little break here. You go eat.
That's exactly what I do. I
I'm trying. I think
prepare for the show
The peeps want to know
while
this stuff.
eating.
I'm taking this to the people. Is what I'm doing. They want
Yes.
to know this stuff.
I don't feel like I have quite enough time. I feel rushed leaving and coming back
Yeah.
because it's rush hour traffic. So I try to make sure I always have a meal here.
Take the iPad and let people watch you eat
Yeah.
their food.
In fact, that's what we should. We should do play-by-play of you eating the scrubbed beans.
I'm gonna
is what
go
I think
now.
we should do. When we
You
come
guys are
back,
delirious.
we'll talk more Jaguars on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, folks, you know what was the longest-running show ever at Broadway's Plymouth Theater? Well, I'll tell you. Jekyll and Hyde the Musical. and it is now at Alhambra Theater and Dining. You're going to love it. You know the story. It's a tale of two men, one a doctor, passionate romantic, the other a terrifying madman. You know the story of Jekyll and Hyde. It is really, really a good musical. You know they do a great job at Alhambra. The food is fantastic. The musical, the plays are fantastic. Plenty of parking. It's all free. On-site parking. Easy to get to on Beach Boulevard, just off of I-295. Head there today. 3-course meal that you're absolutely going to love. Jekyll and Hyde, the musical, will be there till around Thanksgiving weekend, I think the week or so before. Don't miss your opportunity. Call 641-1212 or log on to alhambrajacks.com for tickets.
Georgia hosts Mizzou following Alabama and LSU. Our college football game of the week brought to you by Jacksonville Area Napa Auto Care Centers and Pantheon Realty Group. Saturday on 92.5 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to one commercial today, listen to this one.
Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are doing it again. This year, we will recognize 12 local heroes in our community and honor them with a brand new vehicle. 12 heroes will be getting 12 new vehicles. Nominate a law enforcement officer, firefighter, EMT, nurse, teacher, veteran, and new this year, your local WOW hero. Head to localwowheroes.com to nominate and vote today. Let's wow our heroes.
Get Diamonds Direct's unbeatable price plus an extra 20% off virtually everything. Yes, it's happening next weekend, November 15th through 17th. All rings, all earrings, all pendants, all bracelets, all on sale. This is the biggest and last sale of the year. The one where they break all the rules. The selection is like double the norm. And designers are here with their entire lines. All at the absolute lowest prices of the year. Plus special financing. Shop early for Christmas and save. It's November 15th, 16th, and 17th. Only at Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway, next to the Hyatt.
Here's a quick tip from your fast file bankruptcy expert, Don Dufresne with the law offices of Park